So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sirpiana Dewi. So, I'm from 6th semester. So, I make this video is for Midle test English Intercultural. So, in this video, I will mention do and don'ts in 3 countries. They are Japan, Canada, and then the last one is Philippines. So, for organizing the time, let me begin now. So, for the first, I will talk about Japan. So, for the first is in Japan, don't tip. So, tipping in Japan is big no in almost all situations outside of work on bars. In fact, tipping your waiters, hotel, taxi, or etc. it's considered insulting in Japan. So, the second is don't be loud on public transportation. So, if you're traveling in a group, try and keep yourself together and speak quietly to avoid being a nuisance to those around you. So, next is don't touch. Handshake, nudging or touching to get somewhat attention may be normal in our country, but it is considered rude in Japan if we do that to strangers. So even with our teacher and the other people. So next is about don't address someone by their given names without permission. So next is about don't maintain a contact because maybe Japanese people feel uncomfortable if you make eye contact to them. So next is don't walk while eating. So if you want to eat something, or make sure you find a place to sit and eat there. So for example, you walk in the park, so you buy some food or drink, so make sure you find a place to sit and eat your food or drink. So next is don't blow your nose. So Japanese people wear masks in public for 2 reasons. For the first is to prevent getting others sick, and second is to avoid getting sick from the others. So this being us to why blowing our nose in public is rude in Japan. So the next point is don't use your shoes in house in Japan. So next is don't expect to use card in Japan because Japanese people use cash rather than credit or debit card. So the last one is accept something with both hands. Make sure in Japan, make sure you always accept something with both hands because it is sign of respect in Japan. So I think that's all about Japan. So let's move to the second country, that is Canada. So I will mention several things that you can do and don't in Canada. So for the first is don't talk too much about yourself because Canadian people don't even care about yourself. Second is don't invite another person into party without permission. So when Canadian people invite you into a party, just only you can go to the party. So next is don't just go to the Canadian people and knock their doors. They won't open the door for you because it is rude to them. Next is don't call when it's dinner time. It is between 5 to 7 p.m. Don't call at the time because they don't want to be disturbed when they're eating dinner. So next is don't complain too much about cold because we know Canada is place. So next is don't talk about politics because it is sensitive topic in Canada. So next is don't even ever ask how much money they have in the bank. So Canadian people don't ask something like that because it's a weird program. So next is don't stare at Canadian people because they will feel weird and you might be in trouble, especially if you are new in Canada. So the next one is about eating in restaurant. So as we know, Canada people very polite to waiters. So if you're in a restaurant, so you can waiters come to your table, just raise your hand like this, but not snap your pincher like this. So if the waiters come closer to you, you can say, "Excuse me, I want to order something," or like that, something like that. So next, the last one is about meeting and greeting. So in Canada, most people shake hand if the first meeting of if in the formal situation, but if you are close friend or to someone closer to you, you can sometimes hug each other and then say hello and thank you, just like that. So I think that's all about Canada. So let's move to the last country, that is Philippines. So I will mention some things that you can do and dance in Philippines. So for the first is no smoking or vape. So smoking in public is prohibited. Don't imitate it because if there is a violation. So next is no gossiping. So don't do this because there is a law against gossiping or what is often referred to as hismis. So next one is no whistling. So don't whistle to women because it is considered an immoral act. So next is different meaning of clean plate. So when you eating in a restaurant, don't eat all food until it's clean. So then it's the same as saying that the portion of food given is not enough for you. So next is bring up religion is a sensitive topics in Canada. So next is do familiarize yourself with some Filipino words so that people isn't boring easily if they talk to you. So next is smile when meeting people. So mostly circumstance for good manners to smiling with Filipino. So next is use honorific and familiar term. Respect for the elder is the best way of politeness to speak in Canada. In Philippines. So next is do explore the country as much as you can. So the last one is chatting while eating is normal vibes in Philippines. So Filipina is freedom things for talking about like the food and anything as a good vibes in Philippines. So I think that's all about Philippines. So I think that's all about do and don'ts in three countries, in Canada, Japan, and Philippines. So I think that's all for me. thank you very much for watching this video, and as I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.